Good morning everyone. Today's our topic is on communication skills. What is communication? Communication is nothing but interaction between speaker and receiver. Speaker and receiver. What the speaker speaks, that receiver should receive easily and respond immediately, is nothing but communication. For the communication, we require language. For the communication, we require language. Language is a media to interact with others. We have different languages in and around, but here nowadays we are giving importance to English. So we require here English communication, so that we have to speak English more. Based on that, we can make the clarity. Now come to the points of the language. In English, we have an easy alphabet to remember. Just we have 26 alphabet, which would help us to speak the language. But mainly for communication, we require sounds. The sounds are 44 in English. In the language, we have 26 letters, but we have 44 sounds. We have 44 sounds. Based on the sound, our accent, our voice, everything will be changed. So that we have to give a concentration, the maximum on sounds. Then you can speak good English. Now in this language, in English language, this is called a stress mode language. This is called a stress mode language. When you give a stress on a particular syllable, automatically sound will be changed. For example, you take a word of C-O-N-D-U-C-T. If you stress on C, it should be pronounced like a conductor. It should be pronounced like a conductor. The same spell, C-O-N-D-U-C-T. If you stress on D, we have to pronounce conductor. So when you change the stress, automatically the sound will be changed and the meaning also be changed. So what is a conduct? As we know, study and conduct certificate, just like a behavior. So what about the conduct? Conduct is nothing but maintaining or doing some act. It's nothing but the conduct. So that English is called a stress mode language. Come to our mother tongue. Mother tongue comes from stomach. Whatever the Telugu, Tamil, whatever the language we are speaking, it comes from stomach. But come to English, it just from throat. Everything depending upon your stress. Based on the stress, everything will be changed. So that we have to worry about the language first. Then, with the help of the language, we have to go for communication. So communication in the sense we already discussed, just interaction. Interaction may be one-to-one or interaction with the group, depending upon the communication. So in this communication, we maximum try to express our views, thoughts, everything, whatever. Maybe you are on stage or maybe you are in the group. You have to speak with each and everyone. So communication plays a major role. Then this communication leads to be effective communication, good communication. There are a lot of changes in it. So in this one, we have to make the importance that the language. In the language, come to the clarity. First I said sounds are essential to pronounce the word exactly, and then we have to worry about the sentence formation, and we have to speak without grammatical mistakes. But we need not to bother about much grammar. You can speak simple English with a simple vocabulary, but we should communicate freely that each and everyone could understand easily and respond immediately. That's required in that communication. You can follow a simple structure. You can frame any sentence over there based on the simple form. For example, if you want to speak a simple sentence, just we can take a simple structure like subject plus, verb plus object. With the help of that, you can speak a simple language. Come to the clarity. A simple sentence like I go to college. I go to college. So regarding subject and object, we can manage. Just we have to think of verb. Just if based on the verb, we can speak well English. Just for example, this go is called V1. The go is called V1. Just we can speak like go, come, sit, stand, listen. With the help of that, we can manage our simple communication. To make an effective, we have to add some other polite forms. Come to the sound polite. What we require for sound polite? We require just single word, that is please. With the help of please, we can make the word as a sound polite. To request them anyone, whether he is familiar to you or unfamiliar, you can use the word of please and you can manage, like please go, please come, please sit, please stand. In such a manner, we can manage with that. If you want to say that don't do that particular act with the same sound polite, just we can make a structure like please don't go. Please don't go. That's a sound polite. So while speaking, wherever you are, at the time we have to think that we should not use a professional jargon. If you use any difficult word or any stuff standard word, at the time what would happen? The people never be understood. Immediately they question what's the meaning of that particular word. So that better maintain simple English, right, which could convey easily. That's a very important concept. And then here, while you are using some of the words, at the time you can use the topic what has been given to you. You should not talk irrelevant and we should not waste the time in the communication. So we have to think about related the subject, but simple language plays a major role. So now here we come to know that regarding the sound and regarding the sentence formation, based on that we can communicate easily. The next one, in which situation, in what are the words we have to use. That is called the right word at the right time. We'll take a right word at the right time, a few words which are helpful to us. Now here the thing, we know everything but we don't know. We know everything but we don't know. How can you say that? For example, you take the word of sorry. What's meant by sorry here? Sorry means, generally we used to say that excuse. So when we have to use the word sorry, when you commit a mistake, by mistake, unconscious, unawareness, something happens, at the time we have to use the word sorry. That's called by mistake. Here what we have understood, knowing mistakes and unknowing mistakes. Without knowing, if you commit anything, for example, now you are moving somewhere, accidentally your hand or leg touches to somebody else, immediately what we used to say? We used to say sorry. At the time, commonly he gives a response that that's all right. It's a different case. But here, the word of sorry we have to use for any kind of a mistake that happened unconsciously. By mistake something happens. At the time we have to use the word sorry. Then now, by knowing the mistakes, what are the things? At the time what we have to use the word? Generally, to make a request time, like for example, excuse. Naturally we use more time, then we use forgive, and we use pardon. Excuse, forgive and the pardon, like that we generally use the word for committing any kind of a mistake. Come to the clarity. The excuse, we are using the word in a different form. For example, now you want to come instead of the class is going on already, then at the time you use the word excuse. Why you are using excuse over there? Because you are disturbing the entire class. So by knowing, you are committing mistake. By knowing, you are committing mistake. While class is going on, in between if you get any kind of a doubt, at the time what you used to do, you use the word excuse me sir, I have got a doubt. Why you are using excuse here? Because you are disturbing the entire class. So that to disturb someone's attention, we have to use the word excuse. Now come to the next one, forgive. It's a clear-cut clarity that you know you committed a mistake. Now you have to ask excuse to someone else. At the time you have to use the right word, that is forgive. Please forgive me for doing all the mistakes what I have done. So this is the right way. We have to ask what is the right word to ask excuse for committing a big or whatever the mistake it is, by knowing. So without knowing, if you commit a mistake, you have to use the word sorry. By knowing mistake, if you commit, you have to use the word forgive. Then when we have to use the word excuse, to disturb someone's attention, we have to use the word excuse. The last one, that is pardon. Where we have to use the word pardon here, when you are talking to someone and he is not able to understand your words, automatically he will use the word pardon. Pardon means sorry or excuse, in the sense what I am talking he is unable to understand or he is not able to get it. So at the time he use the word pardon. In the same form, when someone is asking to you a question and you are not able to understand, at the time you have to use the word pardon. Pardon in the sense that it's not audible, please repeat once again. Or we can say generally, come again. Well, in place of that, we can use just word pardon. It will be very much helpful to you with the single word with a polite form that we can say excuse, then automatically that person will repeat or ask again the same question. So these are the words, the right word at the right time we have to